Hello students. So today we are going to study about our constitution. Okay, I'll be teaching you chapter 1 of the civics part of class ninth icse board. Okay, here in this chapter we will be studying so many things about constitution. We will study what constitution is all about, when was it enforced, okay, and how the constitution was made. We will study the process of making of the constitution. Okay, these are very important things regarding constitution. So let's get started. So first thing what you must remember is the enforcement date of the constitution, when the constitution came into force. That date is very easy to remember. You all know that we celebrate 26th January as our Republic Day. Okay, the 26th January was the date of enforcement, and you have to remember the year also. So the year was 1950. 26th of January 1950 is the enforcement date of the Constitution of India. On that particular day, India became a republic, democratic, and a sovereign country. Okay, what is the meaning of republic? Many people celebrate Republic Day every year, but they don't know the meaning of republic. But we are qualified students, so we must know the meaning of republic. Republic means a country which has its elected head of the country. What do you mean by the head of the country? Means the government of the country. We know that all our heads are elected. We are a republic country. Okay, second thing, we talk about the word democratic. Democratic word means there is a proper motto of the democratic word, that is to the people, for the people, by the people. Means this country is for the people. The government of the country is made by the people. Okay, to the people means we are giving this constitution to the people. Everything which is made by the our constituent assembly, they have written in our constitution that we the people of India are giving to ourselves this constitution. Okay, and we have the right to choose our captain, means choose our leader. Okay, the democratic means this: we have the voting right and we can contest, we can even stand in the elections. Means we ourselves can think of becoming the leader of this country. Okay, so I hope the meaning of democratic is also clear to you. Now comes the word sovereign. This word means that India is an independent country, and any outside power or any outside authority does not have any control on our country. Our country is completely independent. Okay, now these three concepts are clear. Now just continue with the next paragraph. It first line says that constitution is a comprehensive document. What do you mean by comprehensive? It is complete in itself. It comprises of everything which is required to run a country. Constitution is such a document which contains so many rules and regulations. It consists of so many laws. These laws are very necessary to run a country. Okay, and India is a very vast country. It has 28 states, 8 union territories, and right now we have a population of around 148 crores. Okay, so we must remember that it's very difficult to manage such a big country. And when at the time of 1947, when India got independence, at the time also the population of country was very high. It was around 30 crores. Okay, and it was very difficult task for our country to manage our own country. So it was important to make our own constitution. Okay, so we will study those things in the next paragraph. First, let me complete this paragraph. It is saying that our citizens like Indians, we have some duties towards our country. Those duties are known as fundamental duties. We also get some rights which are known as the fundamental rights of the citizens of the country. Constitution also defines the relationship between the governed and the governing body. means how the governing body, that is the government of India, how they are going to manage the citizen of a country. Okay, what are the duties what the citizen must, or means we must be obliged towards our country, no? Because we are getting so many fundamental rights, we are getting so many facilities from the government, so we also have some duties towards the country. Okay, I hope you understand the meaning of duties and rights of the citizen. Okay, it also tells us about constitution, also tells us about the three organs of the government. Okay, the government has been divided into three different organs. First one is the legislative, which tells legislature. First one is the legislature, second is the executive, and the third one is the judiciary. The legislature tells us about legislative body is the body which makes the law. Simple thing to remember is you have to remember, you don't have to remember these terms legislature, executive, judiciary. You don't only have to remember the terms, you also have to know the meaning of these three words, because these three words are very very important to know, you know. You must understand the meaning of these three words. Legislature means body which makes the law, executive means the body which enforces the law, and the judiciary, you know it very well. The judiciary is the body which interprets the law. Okay, please try to memorize it. Legislature means the body which makes the law. Executive is the body which helps to enforce the law. The law which has been made by the legislature, it is very important to enforce that law. Okay, this work will be done by the executive body, and the third body is the judiciary. The main job of judiciary is to interpret the law. Okay, this is the thing, simple thing to remember. Under the legislature, we have so many bodies, just like Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, legislative assemblies, legislative councils. All the law making body comes under the legislature. Under the executive, we have many bodies, like president, prime minister, and all. They all also come under the executive, because these people also are very important to enforce the law. Okay, we know that the president of India is known as the executive head. He is also known as the nominal head. Okay, so president is both president, prime minister. These important captains, they come under both. They come under the legislature also, and they come under the executive also. Under the executive body, now we have so many people involved, because India is such a huge country. We know that law is made, but after the law is made, that law has to be implemented, and a huge number of officers are required to enforce this law. Okay, so all the district magistrates working all over the country, all the IAS officers, IPS officers, okay, there are so many government agencies who are continuously working to implement the policies of the government. All these people, all these agencies, organizations, officers, politicians, all these people come under the executive part. Coming on to the, I hope you understand the meaning of executive. Okay, now coming on to the judiciary. We know very well the meaning of judiciary, you know, the Supreme Court of India, that is the highest court, which is in New Delhi. All the high courts of India, okay, all the subordinate courts of India, all those courts come under the judiciary. Okay, now the constitution, it is saying that the constitution protects the interest of the citizens. Okay, that's why we are getting the fundamental rights now. If any of our fundamental rights is infringed, or if the government makes such a law that our fundamental right is affected, then we can go against the government. We can go to the Supreme Court and the High Court to claim our fundamental rights. Moreover, constitution also stops the government from misusing their power. Okay, this is the thing. These are, and it, with the help of constitution only, the government is able to run this country smoothly. Okay, these are the basic things. Now, I think first I've almost completed the first paragraph. Now coming on to the second paragraph, that is the second part of this book, that is enactment of the Indian Constitution. This is very important part, how the Constitution was enacted. So when you will study about the Indian national movement, we will see that all our freedom fighters were continuously fighting for the freedom of India. We were continuously claiming that we want freedom. We wanted freedom for our country. We wanted our country to be an independent country. So, in 1946, the British government sent cabinet mission to India. Okay, cabinet mission came to India with a proper plan with so many proposals. One of the proposals said that they sent the proposal to meet the demands of our national leaders. Okay, one of the proposals said that, okay, if you want your country, if you want an independent country, you want to run your country by yourself, then you must have a constitution of your own, because the constitution will only tell na how you are going to run this country. Such a huge country it is. You people don't have any law. How you will run your country? How you will contest the elections? Do you have any prime minister, chief minister? You don't know anything what to do. So first of all, plan the things. Okay, cabinet mission said us that we have to plan our things so that we can run our own country. I hope you are getting my point, what I want to say. Okay, see, what that is, running this country is a very difficult job. There has to be a proper law. The cabinet mission told that make your own constitution. First thing. Second thing is, they said that if you want to make your constitution, you have to decide who is going to make the constitution. The Constituent Assembly is the name of the body. Cabinet mission suggested that there has to be a Constituent Assembly which will make the constitution. But how the members of Constituent Assembly will be elected, this was also mentioned in the cabinet mission. It said that the members of the Constituent Assembly would be elected indirectly by the Provincial Legislative Assembly. So to make the Constitution of India, we required the Constituent Assembly, and to make the Constituent Assembly, we required the Provincial Legislative Assembly. Okay, so now the elections started in India, and till July 1946, our Provincial Legislative Assembly was created. Okay, the elections to the Provincial Assembly were completed by July 1946. So at that time, there were so many princely states in India. What do you mean by princely states? Those states which were still ruled by the kings. Okay, and I must tell you that there were, at the time of 1946, there were 595 princely states in India. Okay, a huge number. I must also tell you that although British had a full control on our country, but they had some agreements and alliances. They were in alliances and agreements with the rulers, with these princely states. Okay, these princely states used to give so many taxes to the British government because they wanted to retain their kingship. That's why they had to give a lot of money. They had to give their soldiers to the British. They have to give their everything to the British. What they had was their name as a king. This is the only thing they had. Okay. So our princely states also knew, although they were holding the name of the king, but they knew that they were being exploited by the British. They also wanted the British to move out of our country. So princely states also helped in making of the Constituent Assembly. In the princely states, proper elections were not done. They nominated the members. All the rulers of princely states nominated people from their own territories, and in total there were 93 nominated members, and these members were nominated from the princely states, and they came to the Constituent Assembly. So if we talk about the total strength of the Constituent Assembly, there were 292 elected members and 93 nominated members. You have to memorize this number. I know that it's not easy to memorize, but for the time being, for class 9th, you have to memorize this number, because this may come as a question in your exams in the form of objective type questions, in the form of the MCQs. So please remember this number. The total strength of the Constituent Assembly of Undivided India was 389. In this 389 members, 292 were elected and 93 were nominated by the princely states. 3 members were from the chief commissioner provinces and 1 was from the British. Because British brought the cabinet mission, so they wanted to check whether this work was going on properly or not. That's why British kept 1 member from the British also in the Constituent Assembly. Okay, now the difficult part now begun. Now we have a Constituent Assembly, and now some more information is given in your book. We have to study that also. See, we'll study about the formation of the Constituent Assembly. See, when now Constituent Assembly was created, now we'll have the first meeting. Okay, let's have the first meeting. First meeting was done on 9th December 1946. Okay, one thing what you have to remember about this particular meeting is just one name. Okay, I'm trying to make things easier for you. Remember just one name, Dr. Sachidanand Sinha. Dr. Sachidanand Sinha was elected as the president for that particular day. You know why? Because whenever any meeting is organized, there has to be one president to preside over during that particular meeting. So Dr. Sachidanand Sinha was the oldest member. Okay, he was very age old. I mean to say, he was very eldest member in that. So that's why they told he will become the president. But the second meeting, which was held on 11th of December 1946, on that day they decided, the whole team, means all the members of Constituent Assembly decided that Dr. Rajendra Prasad will be the president of the Constituent Assembly. Okay, and we know that Dr. Rajendra Prasad became the president of India also, even after the constitution, even after we got our independence, even after the constitution was enforced, he became the president of our country. Okay, so it's very easy to remember that Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected as the president of the Constituent Assembly. Simple. Okay, now I will just zoom this photo to show you this very beautiful picture. Just look at this picture. Dr. Rajendra Prasad is standing in the center and he is holding one paper of the Constitution of India. You can see the original Constitution. You can see the size. It is very big in size, and I have heard that the weight of the Constitution is 10 kgs. Such a thick paper was used, and they used to write it with a pen, with a fountain pen. They used to write it. That's why they could write on only one side of the paper. Okay, they used to write on only one side of the paper. That's why it became too thick also. And I must also tell you that it's very huge. Our constitution is called the lengthiest constitution. It is in written form. Okay, there are many people have contributed in making our constitution beautiful. You can see the national emblem photos is visible over here. This is the national emblem of India, where we have that Ashoka pillar with 4 lions. Okay, 3 are visible at a time. This is the national emblem, and there are beautiful pictures have been made on some pages of the constitution. Those were also handmade. So you can imagine so much of hard work, so much of love is put while making the Constitution of India, because we were going to get the freedom for our country, and it was not a small thing. So come on, let's move on. It is written over here that Muslim League boycotted the Constituent Assembly to demand the creation of separate state Pakistan. You know, we know now that number which we talked about, 389 members. Earlier, undivided India Constituent Assembly, for the undivided India Constituent Assembly's strength was 389, but when the Muslim League boycotted and left, they told we are not going to be the part of the Constituent Assembly because we are not Indians. We will be having our own country, Pakistan. So why should we go to the Constituent Assembly and waste our time? Because we are not going to contribute anything in making of the Constitution of India, because we are not a part of India. We are the part of Pakistan. We told no problem. You go and make your own constitution and let us make our own constitution. So after the Muslim League left, then also we have how many members? After the Muslim League left, we have 299 members. Still we had 299 members. Okay. So, and I'm telling you, it is written over here that on 26th of November 1949, this is the enactment day of the Constitution. What do you mean by enactment date? Enactment date is the date on which the Constitution was completed. Okay, the work of making of the Constitution was completed on 26th of November 1949, and on that particular day there were 284 members. Okay, so please don't forget it. And all those members signed, they have given their hand signature on the when, if you get the opportunity to see the original Constitution, everybody's signature is there. 284 signatures are there. I think the remaining people who are absent on that, they would also have signed it. Then in total 299 signatures are there in our Constitution. Okay, so let's continue. It's written that between December 9, 1946 and August 14th, 1947. Okay, means 15th August we got our independence. So this date has been mentioned. Till 14th of August, the Constituent Assembly conducted 5 sessions. Okay, see, just try to imagine that studying Constitution is so difficult. Explaining Constitution is so difficult. We are thinking that it is difficult. Then how we can't even imagine that the making of the Constitution, how difficult that job would have been for our Constitution makers. So we must salute our people, our national leaders, our Constitution makers, that they have made such a beautiful Constitution for our country. Okay, now the composition of the Constituent Assembly, again a very important job to do. See what Cabinet Mission suggested. Cabinet Mission said that there has to be the representation, proper representation has to be there in the Constituent Assembly, and they told that there will be the people representing the general category, people representing the Muslim category and the Sikh category. But what our national leaders said, they said that there are so many communities, and they gave the representation of all these communities in the Constituent Assembly. And these communities were the Anglo-Indians, Indian Christians, the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, women, Muslims, Hindus. Okay, Hindus means the general category, the Sikh, every community. Okay, everybody got their representatives in the Constitution, because India is a secular country. We have to take care of every religion. Okay, there should not be any discrimination. Okay, Article 15 says there should not be any discrimination on the basis of caste, creed, gender, and religion. Okay, so these things were taken into consideration while making the Constitution of India. So that's why representatives from all these communities were there in the Constitution of India. Okay, I think this much is enough for today, and I'm extremely tired of speaking. So I will continue in the next video. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I hope please give your comments whether you like my teaching or not. I know I over explain, but when we study constitution now, sometimes we have to listen carefully to understand that concept clearly. Okay, so that we can understand the core of the constitution. Okay, so we'll continue in the next chapter. Thank you so much.